Let go of the past and manifest the reality you desire. It's time to expand your consciousness and create a new enlightened transformational you by raising your vibrational frequency. We will talk about ETs, light ships, the ascending human, our ascending planet, visitations, and first conscious contact upon our new fifth dimensional Earth. Welcome to Universal Unity, New Earth Consciousness. It's time to activate a better you by embracing the white light of Source. Now your host and universal guide, Joanna L. Ross.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Joanna with Universal Unity and the Universal Light Wisdom and Healing Centers. Thank you so much for tuning in. And we've got some exciting vibrations that we're swimming within in this beautiful month of August. So thank you so much for allowing yourselves to swim with us within these divine frequencies, within these divine energies. And we're going to amp it up today and we're going to go far and wide. So buckle up. Thank you for tuning in. It's been an exciting week as we've jumped into August, a beautiful number 8 month, which is the infinity month, allowing us to truly expand all that we are into the all that is, and allowing ourselves to see ourselves as all that is. Infinite, eternal, limitless being, which is what we talked about last week and we touched upon. We're going to go a little bit farther and deeper in that as we allow ourselves to soak within the potentialities of our human ascension, of our planetary ascension, of our global ascension, and what's happening cosmically, galactically to prepare us for not only many things like first contact and first landings and communing and being with our celestial families, but what the grander story is and what the underlying currents are. And we say this often in our social platforms, and we say this often in our social sharing and in our classes. The intent and the ideas behind first contact, the intent and the ideas behind the celestial interactions is driven right from our consciousness and our awareness to be more of who we are as a universal being of light, as a universal being and a universal belonging in human form. For many, many eons, we've allowed ourselves to believe that we are separate from anything else and anyone else, including that of Source, Divine Heavenly Mother, Father, God existing within us. However, now the consciousness is at a point in which, in all that we do to look within, who are we, what do we exist within, and what exists within us, we allow ourselves to see that we are the all. For if we weren't, we wouldn't be able to create the experience to even acknowledge it or have it come into our awareness in any way. And so we allow ourselves to swim in this way, which creates the concepts and ideas for reaching out to our galactic brethren and our cosmic brethren, which have always been guiding and supporting and helping and within the councils of the heavenly hierarchies, assisting humanity to move through its veils of illusion, its veils of density, its veils of separation, its veils of fears, and the myriad of veils that we come choosing to work through and move beyond so that we can simultaneously heal galactic, cosmic, universal wounds from every star system, that the advanced souls, if you will, those of us that are awakening and doing the inner work and doing the path work, we can sense these other star lifetimes coming online and we heal them through our Akashic frequencies, our refined choice, our bringing things into love, everything that we've talked about in every of our shows. We're opening up to the grander soul version, to the grander human version, the soul version of all that we are as a universal being. And we've defined ourselves so very limited for eons. And we've created fears around everything. And so part of what we'll talk about today is allowing you to swim within a little bit of the unknown. Because a little bit of the unknown is being opened up to us, moment for moment for moment. And in that, you're allowing yourselves to, as we talked about last week, to kind of allow yourself to create perspective and heightened awareness around what we've defined as fears and what we've defined as those things we've kept separate from us. And we soak within that by going within and creating that self-love, that self-belonging, that self-appreciation, that self-honor for all that we are as Christed beings coming to life. And we bring it into love and forgive and let go. And so today's topics will be primarily forgiveness and letting go and compassion. And so many, what I hear most often is that they have so much knowledge in the idea of awakening and enlightenment, but how to put these practices into a state of being so that you actually feel from the most depths of your heart and with every fiber of your being, you remember how to feel again. And so one can have every understanding and one can have memorization of every textbook ever written. But until you go within and drop and create that relationship and communion with your divine source within the very divine sacred heart of all that you are, your knowledge will only take you so far. And so to allow yourself to drop to your divine sacred heart, and being today as a number 11 show, because I think we're at number 83 show, and the number 11 is a master number, and it's also a gateway, which we're swimming in within these August energies. So all of these synchronicities and these beautiful cues and symbolisms that the universe is offering all of humanity to awaken to a deeper level of who we are as a cosmic vast being of light, we're opening up a gateway for you today specifically, and we're intending that with the preparation of our field, with the preparation of all that we are, so that you may swim, if you so desire, within this gateway being offered from the etheric chambers through me, in your ability to create grander self-love, grander self-acceptance, and create forgiveness within all that you are for anything that you're holding back and resisting for yourself, from yourself, or to yourself. And we understand that most people are moving through aspects of resistance. And resistance are those parts of yourselves you're not accepting. Bottom line, that's what resistance is. So how do we go within and begin that self-acceptance? How do we go within and begin that self-love pattern? So that in every experience that we manifest, we're creating loving, compassionate experiences. And that's why forgiveness and compassion is a higher dimensional vibration. And the more that you forgive, the more that you gift compassion, the more that you self-love, you're raising your vibrational frequencies and threads, thread by thread by thread, thought by thought, word by word, deed by deed. And you create the cyclical patterns of new light fields through forgiveness and compassion. And we use forgiveness and compassion, and I've done it. Joanna's done it many times. I can't even count the number of times I've used forgiveness on myself and others. And just creating invocations and initiations as part of my cycle of moving within a higher dimensional me. Because we must understand, dear lighted ones, to allow ourselves to awaken to the allness that we are, the isness that we are, the all that is, our soul versions of all that we are. We're allowing ourselves to act as the archangels, to act as our higher dimensional selves, which is unconditionally loving, forgiving, compassionate, kind, creative, sovereign. And these attributes must be acknowledged and moved within and throughout to a point where it's an understanding and it's part of you, it's a threading, it's a vibration, prior to us moving into that galactic and cosmic becoming. And so this is why we've always said first contact and first landings are only an attribute to what you're doing within. It's not the be all and end all to human evolution. And the celestials will tell you that. It's a step. It's a part. But we always look at things at the grander perspective. For eons, humanity has been asleep. They've allowed themselves to believe through the illusions and the veils they've come to play within this game. And all of those veils and layers have allowed them to forget what they're truly linked and connected and threaded with. So as we create that self-love and create unity consciousness in oneness with all things, through your inner work of who am I, what do I exist within, what exists within me, moment for moment for moment refinement of choice, moment for moment expansive with loving thoughts, words and deeds and all that you are. You then see yourself taking on and experiencing the expansiveness of you. Because you can see these moments where you're getting visions. You can see these moments where you're creating dreams, incredible dreams that are allowing you to prepare for what this new galactic dimensional reality will be. And we call it galactic because in this new vibrational reality, Earth, there will be galactic frequencies in which we will be behaving within. And are you ready? So all of these things that we've talked about for years now, this is number 83 show. For 83 shows, we've talked about similar concepts of who are we? And within every moment, you can ask yourself that question and allow yourself to go within and find the love, seek the God, seek the all that is within you, because you will see it mirrored to you in all things, in flowers, in bugs, in animals, in life, in others, those that you've contracted to show you who you are. And how may you forgive and love so that you truly create that gateway, this beautiful lion's gateway that's coming up on the 8th, and move through it with elegance and grace of self-love and compassion so you're owning all that you are. And I will give you some experiences of what I've moved through this week in my profound, profound transformations of self-love and self-acceptance. And it's a never-ending cycle. Never ending. And I think just as I've forgiven, I've loved myself just a little bit more, I'm then taken to another edge of who I am vibrationally, of who I am in the big grand cosmic scheme of creation. And I see beings and I see visions of beings that are me. The higher aspects of me preparing me for this field that I will be playing upon. And are you ready, dear, to see what you need to see and feel what you need to feel? And for those that are allowing themselves this moment of, oh, I truly want to feel, I want to feel again. What does it feel to be truly loved unconditionally? What does it feel like to actually give love unconditionally, without condition? And those of us that are parents, we can all attest to these behaviors because we all come with expectations. And that's just the egoic patterning and what we've been brought up with in our families. And eons of cycling of imprints, and eons of cycling of negativity, and eons of cycling of fear. However, to truly be a master, one understands that in your behavior, moment for moment, you can transcend those patterns and those imprints that limit you and limit your children. Sometimes we often just say the things to our children just because it's just habit. But you can choose to transcend it, let it go, and live in freedom. And this occurs to me all the time when I'm communicating with my kids. Because you want them to be safe and you want them to be happy and healthy and you want all of these things for your children. You want them to be successful, all of these beautiful things that's innately within us as parents, as lovers, as partners, as friends. And we place our expectations and we project our needs and our desires upon those around us. For we haven't understood that we're sovereign. We haven't understood that we're divine lighted beings all on our own, within this beautiful divine heavenly family that's infinite and eternal. And if we just trust ourselves and surrender into all that we are, we understand that that trust is unconditional to all others. They have every skill. They're masters. The children that are being born nowadays are masters in their own right. Make no mistake about it. And they come with a toolbox and a toolkit grander than you can imagine. So why limit them? We're allowing you to see a grander perspective of all that you are and step into the unknown with excitement, dear ones. For more often than you create that awareness and that love and that self-acceptance for who you are, you're expanding into grander territory of you. Because you will be shown those other aspects that are new, that are exciting, that are loving and compassionate and forgiving, because you're allowing yourself to cycle in those threadings. Letting go of expectation of yourself and others. And simply be. Simply be in your isness of all that is. And swim within the elegance of just being. Let go of the expectations of what you feel and think perfection is. Perfection is already. There's nothing more you have to do. There's nothing more you have to attain. If you soak within the divine sacred heart, all answers exist within that. All answers exist within you. And so how may we go within and drop to this divine sacred relationship of all that is, the divine source creators swimming within you, a golden spark of creation. And when you open up just enough with that pure loving intent to feel something new, to know your Christed self, to know your expansive self of all that is, and in a moment of stillness and peace, your gifted profundity to see and feel and know who you are. In the most expansive way, it goes beyond words and definition and explanation. And it's what I was gifted this week. Another glimpse, another vision, another dream, another creation that my higher self and the divine heavenly creators said, you've allowed yourself to forgive yourself so much. You've gifted compassion, you've gifted forgiveness. You've created the initiations and the invocations. You've walked and you've created lessons for yourself, and you're moving beyond lessons in every moment. And everything that unfolds, I can see the lesson within it. And how may I transcend this negative imprint and create something new, Joanna says. Continually going beyond to the edge, stepping over one more time. And there have been times, dear one, and I speak in all honesty, that I have been upon my knees, calling to creation. When will these cycles of density ever end? And when are the lessons enough? And in that, dear lighted ones, through the courage and the bravery just to step beyond all that you are and to see and feel and be something new, and you surrender with unconditional love and trust for who you are in this game, in this beautiful, expansive, infinite, eternal you, and in reality becomes all that you are. Because you've forgiven yourself for keeping yourself at resistance and at bay of all things that are good and all things that are loving and all things that are pure and one and already here, already now, already you. And how divine we are. And I look at my clock and it's 11:22 and this beautiful gateway showing me into the beautiful essence of all that I am in this vast cosmic game of life. So thank you so much for swimming with us today in these beautiful loving energies, that humanity is stepping upon new ground within our cosmic frequencies and these beautiful gateways that August will hold. And the August frequencies and celestial alignments, we'll just give you a quick rundown of what's happening this month for our celestial ascension alignments, is we've got beautiful August 7th is the lunar eclipse, is a full moon lunar eclipse. And it's just on the heels of, and there's no accident why this happens, it's just on the heels of Lionsgate, which is 0808. And we've got a beautiful class and a ceremony and a celebration that we will be doing on the 8th. And it will be held at 5:55 p.m. And beautiful soul tribes from all over the planet are connecting and gathering with us in this beautiful soul tribe, where we remember who we are as divine Christ at essence, and we ground and we anchor new intention and new invocations of self-love and galactic and universal belonging. So I thank all of you for sending in your excitement and your desires to entangle and to join with us on that class. And all of those classes can be found on our Sacred Temple Teachings page, and we offer classes monthly. But this new moon is going to be an Aquarian full moon, and this full moon eclipse is the Aquarius energy, and it's also found some frequencies that were spiraling with also Leo, which is all about courage, and it's all about stepping beyond and stepping within the unknown, creating your own sense of dynamic oneness and who you are, moving forward in your own truth, moving forward in your own authenticity, moving forward in speaking your voice and being the truth of all that you are in all things that creates your own excitement and what you choose to move upon without compromise. And that's coming forward and speaking your truth, speaking the voice of love, speaking your energetic gifts, and being that beautiful, flowing, dynamic energy that all is within you, desiring to now entangle with these new frequencies of all that's around you, as within, so without, as above, so below. And so these energies and these celestial alignments allowing us to truly create these new potentials of what it is that we choose to intend in free will and choice. Remember, universal law number one, free will. And each and every individual is moving through their own moment for moment for moment free will. What path do I choose to create? What dynamic human being do I choose to be? What dynamic human being do I choose to forgive and let go, so I can truly move into a refined frequency that oscillates at a much faster vibratory speed, and thus, therefore, we must let go and release all those things that have been covering us up and making us feel small and heavy and weighted. And why we go through Akashic release, why we go through the vibratory release and the initiations and the invocations to truly let things go that are no longer serving us. And we can see them and feel them in our everyday life. Everybody is aware of it. Now you can walk forward in your own mastery and say, well, this just isn't choosing me to choose this anymore. I'm going to choose something different. I'm going to go over here and create. It's all within you. You're already creating. It's already there. You're just allowing yourself to step onto that thread with creative choice and intent. I choose to be my highest light. I choose to be my highest love. And off you go. And it's as simple and easy as that. However, there are those aspects of the egoic patterning and the negative belief systems that we simply must heal and forgive. And that's most often why people feeling they get to that point in their ascension path that they forget how to feel. They forget how to love themselves because it's been so long. It's not something we're taught at the earliest age. Love yourself. And so many can attest to that. And it's the first law that we teach and we gift our children. Love thyself, for you're gorgeous. Mother, Father, God are within you. Can you feel it? Swim with it. Be creative. Go create. Be joyous. Be joyful. Be blissful. Go create. Be happy. And most often than not, we pull them in and reel them in with expectations and boundaries and limitations. Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. You might not be accepted there. You might not fit in. Do this, do that. And really confining their spirit in limitation. And yet we're changing that every moment. And so these new celestial alignments truly allow us to step onto higher vibratory fields and frequencies. We will be prepared, and we've been saying this for years, but now it's kind of getting to this phase of frequency where everybody feels it. And these dynamic alignments and shifting out, if you will, of these reality frequencies. And when we talk about dimensional reality frequencies, they're vibrations of information. And so those that are creating choice for themselves to have very limited vibratory information, very limited information within who they are, will create that vibratory reality for themselves. And we still see it on our planet when we look into any of the social media. And so we just say, turn it off and create your own, social reality that's foundations are self-love and self-awareness, that you are eternal, you are the all. And that's the light field you create. And so these vibratory information fields will be moving through a shift in which they find their own, we call them threadings because it's what it is. It's vibratory threadings. It's grid lines, vibratory threadings of experience and information and vibration. And they'll be moving through its own idea and concept of what we call a refinement or a split, if you will. It's a smoothing out. So that these vibratory fields of play can be refined, and those can soak within a more sustainable bedding vibrationally to what they're truly aligned with at their heart. And so if there's those at the heart that are closed off to their allness with source, their allness with creation, their allness with who they are, then that's the reality that they will experience. And those are the free will choices. And then there will be those that will be creating the free will choices that choose to move into allness. And it just is the intention of just being love. You might not know how to get there or feel it at the beginning, but you will get there. And it's just your intent to be love. So there's no worry, and you can let go of all the fear in that. Every soul and every aspect of creation will be exactly where they're meant to be. They'll be exactly where they've designed their contract to awaken to. They have exactly those beings contracted with them that will assist them on their journey. And this is why we say, go in and give yourself forgiveness and self-love and self-trust. Because as you do so, you just open up and say, I trust it. I know exactly where I'm going. You don't have to know the details. You don't have to know the road to take. You don't have to know the path or the map. You're not supposed to. You're supposed to move upon your excitement in every moment and be love. Experience all that you are through the eyes of love. Experience all that you are through the eyes of forgiveness. Experience all that you are through the eyes of compassion. And your path will lead you exactly where you're meant to be, where you have drawn yourself to be, your destiny, your legacy. It all unfolds as you unfold. Not a minute sooner. Not a minute later. So we can let go and relax and allow yourself to soak within those aspects of sensation and those frequencies that are still allowing you to feel as if there's something not quite healed, or you're not feeling enough, or whatever those not enough is, or the lack of is, those sensations that come up in your everyday work. Have I done enough? Have I moved higher in my vibration to be a part of this exciting game that's unfolding for humanity? And we say, relax and rest. Allow yourself the nourishment and rest that you need, dear ones, because your bodies and your multidimensional vessels are doing so much. And forgive yourself for thinking you had to do any more. Forgive yourself and soak within self-love, self-enjoyment, self-appreciation, and dance just a little. Smile just a little. And allow your heart to open for all that you have drawn for yourself that's coming down the pipeline of love. for just your moment for moment thoughts about love and being love or experiencing it or just creating from excitement, that's enough to put you in the vibration. So relax, dear ones. You are always exactly where you should be. And your vibrational fields and your vibrational contracts will unfold divinely orchestrated as they always have been. However, now you're awake to sit back and enjoy and to see the fruits of your labor and the fruits of all that you are loving and forgiving and letting go and embracing all that you are. And you'll see them respond very quickly. And that's why we say, when you go within and you allow yourself to know who you are, to what you exist within and what exists within you, it's a holographic, infinite, eternal cycle of light. It's a constant exploration. It's a constant experience. It's a constant experience to loving who you are, because it'll be shown to you. Every new moment is a new aspect of you to love, to accept, to honor, to forgive, to let go, to create compassion with. And as you do so, you understand that there's divine heavenly contracts for each and every person, for each and every aspect of life. And divine sovereign allowance is to know that they are masters to create their own free will. And you create love and compassion in every moment that you can for you. For if you do that for you, you do it for all others, because you understand that it's you. And these gateways allow us to see the infinity. And this will be brought up over and over and over this month, because August is a big time for us to see, for us to experience, for us to truly initiate and ignite from the soul within us, from the very depth of that God source spark within us, that Christed light that's being built with every thought, word, and deed, that we are infinite, that we are eternal, and cycle for cycle, moment for moment, we are one. And how beautiful is that to be so infinite? And the celestial alignments, again, the lunar full moon eclipse will be on August 7th. The Lion's Gate, which is always a powerful energy. I've felt such very profound energies and transformations on the 8th of August. For many years now, we've always created a ceremony and a celebration on the 8th of August to really celebrate our galactic initiation, our human initiation to our galactic and universal oneness. And so that's going to be no different this year. We're going to do another ceremony and celebration. And then on August 11th, as our reminders, we just went right into our topic, so we're a bit late with our reminders. But our August 11th, we have a beautiful telesummit and phone call with Carrie Murphy from Straight Talk for the Soul on August 11th at 11 a.m. Again, another 11 gateway that we're moving with, quite synchronistically. And then on the 12th, we have our Awaken the Shaman Within class and Awaken the Priestess Within class. And that's where we truly get to create that sacred play. And all those that have been in the enlightenment and ascension work for so many years, it's our time to truly get together and play with sound and play with movement and play with invocations and initiations. And we call in the various heavenly councils and the hierarchies of the heavens to truly get and entangle with us and allow spirit to move in this way where you're letting go of all judgments of yourself and really allowing yourself to play without restriction. And so that's going to be that class on the 12th. And then on the 13th, I'm heading to Japan. And so there's a lot happening this week and this coming week for me. And we're so excited that we've connected here today to entangle for this very, really incredible cosmic energies that are ushering us into new vibratory experiences. And there's so many people all over the world that are newly awakened. They're newly enjoying who they are in this higher dimensional view and perspective about who they are within the all. And so it's really, truly an exciting time for our human perspective, for our human story. And so allow yourself to know that there's been so much that's been done, and there's been so much that we are doing in every moment. And the more that you soak within this beautiful moment of now and you create that eternal, all expressive isness with you, and you drop to that divine sacred heart center, you're going to be guided in every moment from your divine heart. And it won't be so logical anymore. And you're going to let go of why it needs to be logical, Because when you live through the divine, it's completely not logical. It's the beauty of love. It's the majesty of love. It's the majesty of miracles happening before you and through you. And so that's why it's a beautiful divine unveiling for the human family, and for the human itself. So we're really excited to be a part of it. So thank you again for joining us. And we've talked about all the time the idea and the concept of moving through these powerful shifts and forgiveness and self-love. And the mechanism that we do that through is the divine inner temple. And that's knowing yourself as an energetic mechanism of light, the divine being of light that you are, that Christed being of light that you're now awakening to. And we understand the chakras and the pillar of light that we work with to create that beautiful God source flow of breath that ignites the atom evantine particles, the God particles within your chakras, within your the DNA activations that are moving, allowing you to expand and create your isness with creation and your galactic frequencies. We experience those things because all of these things are happening energetically, because all of these things are moving and creating similitude and marriage with all things. As you expand more into all that you are. You continue to initiate yourself into grander and grander field. Part of those initiations is we go back to forgiveness and letting go and surrender. And surrender is something that continually comes up in the cycle of evolution and the cycle of ascension for humanity. Because there's often been the belief in the pattern that, well, if I surrender, I'm giving up and I'm letting go of something, that's me. Aren't I changing who I am if I just surrender? Or that forgiveness, does that mean that I'm automatically doing something wrong, or I shouldn't be doing something right? Because I had those exact same experiences. And that's why I had so many of the beliefs that I did about many of the organized religions through my experiences. However, if I just stepped outside and allowed myself to fall in love with who I am as the expansiveness of all that I am, understanding that those things were showing themselves to me so that I can move beyond those negative imprints, so that I can move beyond those negative judgments, so that I can move beyond those perspectives that I held, then I can bring it all into love and say all things are required in the scheme of the all. And I can go within and say, well, I'm going to forgive myself for creating those negative judgments, because I understand now and I can see it and they show it to me. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes. Sometimes the negative things that I say, I see the ripple effect of that. And that makes me stop very quickly, because I don't want that. I want something loving and positive to be emanated from all that I am. And so it's ever more positive and it's ever more enlightening, it's ever more empowering when you can just go within and say, those are the beliefs that I held, but I know I'm truly vast, I'm truly eternal, I'm truly one with all things. So there's no need to judge. You can let that go. Forgive and surrender and let go. The surrender is trusting that you're unconditionally loved and you're unconditionally connected with all things, because you are all things. And surrendering into Mother, Father, God is surrendering into you, that grander version of you, that pristine version of your highest, most elevated, highest truth that is always encoded and sewn within each and every one of us. Without question, there's not one being that doesn't have Mother, Father, God within them. Not one. Our awareness and our perspectives and our beliefs allow us to create the reality that makes it appear that we don't, or that we're not. And that's when the negative behaviors and the realities that go on and on and on, the recycling of timelines that we've all seen and we've all experienced. However, now there's just so much of an awakening that it's hard to ignore now. We're stepping into something that, wow, there's so many people that are speaking of the same experiences. There's so many people that are creating similar awakening experiences and sharing them because they're excited to live who they are through their divine hearts. They just must. I just must share this beauty. I just must share this elegance. And that was one of the divine keys and the divine threadings for me. Many years ago when I started this path, I would do infinite hours of research on the internet, but nothing was coming up that I was experiencing. There was a little bit, but they were all segmented into different modalities of energy. It was yoga or Reiki or dream interpretation, and there was all of these different modalities, but it wasn't under any umbrella that I could understand what was going on with me. The Kundalini and whatever we want to define and separate it as. What was truly happening was the awakening of all that I was as a universal being. In this local universe, a universe being that's a part of the omniverse, and it goes even farther out than that if you like. But in this universal acceptance of all that I am, It's the Christed consciousness. It's the Christed consciousness transcends all religion. It transcends all human definition because it's multidimensional, it's vast, it's omni, it's the all. It's that consciousness that allows you to see the all that you are and all that you exist within and all that exists within you. That's the Christed consciousness. That's the light body that we build as we let go and release and love and heal and create compassion and dance and spiral and spin. And these beautiful things that you create for yourself and make you feel alive once again. Because there's so many of you that just want to feel alive again. To feel love for your neighbor. To feel love, deep love and connection and communion with your children. Or with family members that have been distant. For you haven't truly felt accepting of all that you are. And the confidence hasn't quite been there. The self-love hasn't quite been there for you to say, would you just like to come over and have a coffee or a tea and just chat? For I love you, you are my brother, you are my sister, and I know that somewhere I'm in there too. Can we forgive one another and just let go and move on? For in every lesson there is love to be experienced, to be unveiled, to be unwrapped, the beautiful gifts that you are, each and every one of you, dear lighted ones. And as we allow ourselves to move within the etheric chambers, allow yourselves to feel the sand and the soil beneath your feet if you so desire to swim with us in this moment of now of alignment and opening within the gateway of love and unconditional human expansiveness. And the etheric chambers are moving through me as we're allowing ourselves to connect with our oneness, connect with our allness, connect with the isness of all that we are as Christed beings of light, as dynamic energy beings in human form coming forward in this beautiful transformational time. And as we bring our breath up to the universal heavens and up to the omni field of all that we are in our beautiful inhale of breath, we create a still point in a void where there's no thought. A new cycle begins. And as we exhale, create similitude and balance with your chakra systems, the higher self, the divine sacred heart, and feel your feet grounding to the sands and soils of Gaia to her very heartbeat. Communing and entangling and marrying with Gaia once again as she aligns you, as she creates that homeostasis of nurturance and energy and harmonic frequencies with you and through you. And your inhale moves with her. And you create similitude with breath and God consciousness and God encodings and God light language. And you create a soft, gentle focus and commune with your divine higher self and your soul star and your crown chakra. And you now see and you now hear and you now know, and you create a soft, gentle focus to your divine sacred heart. That union and that beautiful space of divine excellence and divine emanations of unconditional love, of infinite love, limitless love. And you understand that in this center of all that you are, you can go as deep and as wide and as fast as your imagination will carry you. And the golden spark that exists within the center of all that you are, forever eternal in every form that you take, there is life pulsing and beating within you of profound unity and oneness. Divine, heavenly, female, and male frequencies of the Father and the Mother coming together and merging. And in the beautiful celestial and omni field and in the beautiful universal frequencies that are offered to us this month, you see a gateway, a beautiful golden gateway, and pillars so tall beyond what your eyes can see. And you see fields and fields beyond what your eyes can see. And your higher self is with you because you sense their connection of all that is with you, moving through you and with you in all your cosmic forms and all those soul fragments and entities that you've been healing and loving and making whole. And you sense such celebration, such grand oneness. And you sense the vibrations of light ships with you as well in the peripheral energy fields. And the councils that you belong to, And you connect with telepathically as you move about your life through beautiful, loving thoughts and pondering and loving questions from your heart. And within every breath, you understand that you're always threaded in a beautiful bedding of love. And in whatever may shift and stir about your reality, in any given moment, you can ground within your pillar of light. And you can claim your centeredness, your partnership, your oneness. And you can open up to the heavens and forgive. You know that you've held back. You know that you've judged. You know the expectations you've placed upon yourself. And through the gateway, you will be met with legions and teams of divine beings ushering you in. And as you walk through these gates and through these portals of time and space, crisscrossing just for you, you create the new crystalline energy of love that's unique through you. And a new potentiation is birthed in the moment that you know yourself in that moment as love. And every divine being, every divine higher being of light, angelic, council member, celestial form you can imagine, and the legions of the archangels await. And you embrace them with your heart. You embrace them with all that you are. And the divine Heavenly Mother Father whisper, they're all you, dear one. Can you breathe this in and accept that it's you? And are you ready for the dance that this will take you in new fields of play? New moments of transition that are unmistakable and undeniable. In every moment that you see all things as you, waiting for open arms, for embrace. And if you go about your life in any of those relationships that you feel might be torn or tattered, and you can visualize yourself in this exact circumstance where the beautiful pillars of the heaven, and each of you are on either side of these pillars, and the divine are just ushering you through. Just let it go in love and forgive. Let it go. Surrender into you. It's all you. Just in a different form, a different color, different makeup, different clothes, different energy thread, different cosmic soul contract. And this is how we can step into the unknown with such grace, with such self-knowing, with such self-clarity. For we have transcended the lessons of limitation, the lessons of bias, the lessons of judgment, the lessons of separateness, and why we can be taken so very far. And when the wings of all that you are break open and soar from that beautiful chrysalis, these are very real experiences, and they will be felt as you transcend the negative imprints and the stories and the themes you've come to transcend. And how very beautiful. Thank you. And this occurred recently to me in my stages and phases of ascension. And I know that I have been moving in these phases of the, in moving into greater forgiveness and compassion for myself and self-love. I so too see it reflected in my reality. And my soul self is testing me with situations of trust, of self-love and forgiveness, so that the grander soul aspect of myself says, yeah, she's over that. She's learned that lesson. Let's go on to something new. And as I move through these life experiences, moment for moment for moment, I had a beautiful self initiation, if you will, of bringing forward my sacred triad to a much deeper level. And the sacred triad is soul contracts that you have with those in celestial frequencies, celestial dimensions. They're aspects of your soul family, of your soul, the experiences you've had with them in other dimensional realms and higher dimensional realms that have contracted and are constantly in meetings, are constantly in higher vibrational discussions and realignment sessions, if you will, because in every moment you change, you shift, you alter. And so your teams and your higher self are always in the works, if you will, of where are they at, where is she at, where is he at, what are they moving through, what's the next thing that's going to come up so that they can transcend this and express this and move through this. Constant. And that's why the moment is always now. And that's why things are always shifting and changing. And that's why so many intuitives and so many psychics can never say exactly when something or anything should or would happen. Because those decisions, as we've always said, have always been within the hierarchies of the heavens, and it will be revealed in divine timing. And it's up to us just to sit back and relax within ourselves and just be love, be joyful, be blissful. And so this experience came, and I was going through enough of my releases and my lacking of self, and those have been some of the themes that I've had to move through very dramatically. Lack of sense of self and self-worth, and all of the things of lack you can imagine I have experienced. And I've gifted myself with enough inner work, with enough self-love, to the point where these beautiful triad, the sacred triad, and it's a triangle of beings. I see it as a triangle, and it comes down with the vibrations that merge with your grander soul energetic self, that light body self, and that creates the Merkaba, that light vehicle that you go traveling interdimensionally with and through. And what many of the masters had come back to express to us and explain to us and show us, and why there's been certain beings in our human history that have ascended without what we deem as what's been, there's labels on it like paranormal, but it's not paranormal. It's just they've understood the dynamics of quantum energy. They've understood the dynamics of what ascension is truly about. And they've come to teach it to us, like Elijah and Jesus and other masters, where their bodies were not physically, tangibly, or materially found or known. And these stories have stayed with us for a reason, because those stories in other timelines that are happening right now are showing us that right now there will be others that will be ascending. And there will be others that will be creating those new dynamic galactic frequencies of those other Earths that are communing and entangling at a multidimensional, multi-galactic frequency. And so they don't disappear, if you will. It's just their vibration has taken them into another experience. And that's what dimensions really are. They're vibrational experience. And when you've done the lessons and you've moved through and beyond, you allow yourself at divine timing with your teams and your sacred triad. They shift you when that merge is fully spiraling as one. That's when you move into the higher majesties of the heavens, or the what's been called the many heavens, because there's many dimensional realities that any one being can experience. But it's never by thyself, because we're all one. Those frequencies of ascension always carried with them those other beings to assist in this carrying forward, this carrying up, this ascending dynamic, if you will. And it really goes beyond what we can explain. Well, we hope we've done our best in explaining it. But when one ascends, it's done through a trinity. It's done through a sacred triad. It's done through the sacred trinity of vibration of three other beings, their soul frequencies with you. And you've had experiences in other lifetimes with you. You've been alchemic masters, you've been adepts, you've been temple priestess and priests. And these energies have come with you to contract to help assist you in raising your vibration to allow you the alignment of where your soul desires you to be and where your higher self desires you to be. And where you, in this now moment, sitting in that chair, sitting in wherever it is that you're sitting or being, that allows you to take this grand perspective is that it's not just you that ascends by yourself and alone. You're always with your sacred triad at this phase. They're merging and joining with you, and why we have the symptomologies that we feel. Like the vibrations in our skin really oscillating. It feels like your cells are speeding up. That's the Christed frequency, the Christed particles speeding up within you. You're creating the light frequencies as you oscillate faster and faster and faster with love, because love and light are the very fastest and highest vibrations. And so these are all connected and linked and entangled. There's nothing separate from anything. And that's what these upcoming shifts and these upcoming dynamics and these upcoming transitions and walking into the unknown, it's just another experience of vibration. We don't mean to downplay it or anything, but we also know that everything is experience, everything is consciousness. So it will be a beautiful consciousness experience from a new perspective. And so the timelines and the guidelines and all of the details around it, we can just let go and relax into love. Where we're all one, we're all moving together, we're all moving as a family, we're all moving as a beautiful, grand human collective. And we can allow ourselves to truly celebrate and dance. And celebrate and dance and celebrate and dance. And then it just gets so easy to let things go that truly are no longer worth your weight in worrying about them. Because you really look at them and say, well, why was I worried so much about that? And it's just changing your perspective. Perspective is so much to allow you a new vibration, a new frequency. So thank you so much. So just before we get to break, we want to remember that we've got a beautiful, beautiful full moon Aquarius. And Aquarius is all about looking at things futuristically, looking at things with truly expansive and infinite eyes and an infinite heart, to know that you are the one and the all, to know that you are isness, to know that you are allness, to truly step forward on this path with just beautiful, heartfelt abandon and just play. Allow yourself to play. Allow yourself and give yourself permission to play. Create those beautiful sacred play times and create those beautiful sacred communions in which you're connecting with others that are of the excitement and the vibration that you really get excited about, and go out and dance and sing and be joyful and really create that beautiful loving communion for all that you are, because it really is simple, but it feels so good in letting all of that heaviness and all of the weight go that's held us so heavy. So it really is simple. So thank you so much, and join us after the break as we go deeper and farther into the expansive frequencies and the shifts that are moving for all of humanity. Thank you so much, and tune in after the break.
You've been listening to Universal Unity, New Earth Consciousness with Joanna L. Ross. Live every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. Exclusively on the KCOR Digital Radio Network. To explore, empower, understand, inspire, and further connect with this higher state of consciousness, please visit universalunity.ca. For more information on the host, Joanna L. Ross, please visit her KCOR Digital Radio Network show page, Universal Unity, New Earth Consciousness. This is KCOR Las Vegas, home of the Digital Radio Network. Broadcasting from a shack just south of Area 51. Wait, that doesn't exist. This is the KCOR Digital Radio Network. Now for the news. Let go of the past and manifest the reality you desire. It's time to expand your consciousness and create a new enlightened transformational you by raising your vibrational frequency. We will talk about ETs, light ships, the ascending human, our ascending planet, visitations, and first conscious contact upon our new fifth dimensional Earth. Welcome to Universal Unity, New Earth Consciousness. It's time to activate a better you by embracing the white light of Source. Now your host and universal guide, Joanna L. Ross.
Welcome back, and good morning, everybody. Is everybody feeling the sensations and the frequencies of ascension? We're going to talk a few minutes about symptoms, because there's so many people that, regardless of where you're at in your path, they're feeling something new and something different every day. And we've had a beautiful YouTube video, so go onto our YouTube channel. I think it's called Joanna Universal Unity. I think that's the name of it. And so if you go on there, and there's a beautiful video we did a couple of weeks ago before we went to the beautiful sacred land of Hawaii. And there's a video called Whispers from Heaven. And this is truly my personal experience and my personal take on my perspective on how truly elegant and beautiful the divine communion is with Mother, Father, God, with creation in all things. because all things are consciousness, all things are creation, all things are Mother, Father, God. We're now allowing ourselves to awaken to the fact that, yes, we're a part of that. And it's a beautiful dance. And all of the books, all of the classes, all that we thread our teachings through and within are allowing ourselves to see that we are one in all things. And it's holographic, what is within as without. And so that's why we ask those three beautiful questions. Who are we? What do we exist within? And what exists within us? Because it's a beautiful temple, and it's an energetic mechanism that allows you to experience truly everything in all ways. And as you expand into this knowingness of oneness, into the knowingness of how holographic you are, you can allow yourself to truly take yourself and transcend beyond what appears to be physical, a physical reality, if you will. And in your meditative time or in your higher consciousness states or even dream time, you're feeling and you're allowing yourself to swim within expanded frequencies that allow you to move about in your multidimensional galactic way, if you will. And it's very free and liberating to see yourself in those experiences with no limitations and no constraints. And so, but to allow your consciousness to do this, letting go of fear, forgiveness, and all of those things we talked about, because you're stepping into a new aspect and perspective of who you are as being human. And it's very exciting. And it's very beautiful, and it's very elegant. And it's what so many of us have moved through the process of forgiveness and moved through the process of expanding who we are and trusting and creating those leap of faith every moment for moment for moment for moment. You just have the faith that all things are divinely working out. You don't have to know or have the map in front of you. You're not supposed to. You follow that divine, beautiful, sacred heart, and all things will unfold perfectly and majestically. And part of that surrendering into the unknown and that beautiful opening up of the divine, sacred heart and just letting go of all of those fear-based thoughts that kept you back and resisting yourself, you can truly open up the arms and the wings and the beautiful, however you want to visualize it, opening up the beautiful wings of your angelic self, and truly tell yourself that you're ready. And just say, I'm ready for this beautiful life experience. I'm ready for this beautiful higher earthly experience of who I am. And initiate yourself in these beautiful celestial alignments like full moons and new moons and gateways. And they're beautiful times for you to take in those higher vibrational offerings from the divine heavenly frequencies and our central sun and all those beautiful celestial councils that have been surrounding our planet for eons now, supporting us and sending through the vibrations for us to maintain health and wellness and vibratory frequencies of awakening. And all of that we've been talking about, there's so very much and even more than we can explain that are going on behind the scenes, if you will, the omni field. But that's why we feel what we feel. Not only is the physical body moving through so many transitions, but we're awakening into the soul self emotionally, mentally, etherically, and it feels really different. It feels really kind of quasi-physical. It feels kind of surreal, really. I mean, at any moment you can feel in those heightened states of consciousness, you can feel as if you're in a dream, but you're actually walking around in your reality. And we don't suggest you do that when you're driving or anything or operating heavy equipment. But when you're in those moments of sacred playtime and you're in, the safety of your home and you're sitting and having a beautiful meditation, then allow yourself to truly go within and create that dream time state. And you can essentially create your reality of that next step that you choose to walk on when you come out of that dream, if you will. Because that dream is becoming more and more lucid. Our reality is becoming more and more lucid. And for those of us that are doing the path work, if you will, we can feel it changing, and our whole bodies are changing. They're feeling. Lately, I've been waking up, and I've been feeling as if every cell in my body is shifting into less physical state, and I can feel it. I can feel my body form changing, and those are just the frequencies and my own unique soul path that I am taking myself on. And everybody within my family contract is going through similar things as well. Because as you expand and move about your dynamic uniqueness and your dynamic excitements, so too do they, and they too are altered. Because we're all connected, we're all one. And this is why we can let go of the fear of, so many people have asked, well, who's coming with me and what's going to happen? All of these questions that create so much fear and separation and those judgments that we talked about last week. Them and us and they and we and who's going, who's not going, all those aspects of worry, they just get into the confusion of really simplifying it and say we're all one. Every single being of creation is moving through their own evolution. their unique evolutionary path, each and every being. As we create forgiveness and self-love and compassion, we don't need to necessarily judge anymore because we understand they're all aspects of us. And so truly, if you can, allow yourself to flow within this now moment, grounding through the pillar of light, all that you are, and create great excitement for the unknown. Create great excitement for the unknown that you're becoming. Create the great excitement of all that you're moving through and you're experiencing, because as you do so, those symptoms that used to worry or bother you, they don't even come in your conscious awareness anymore, because you're excited about it. You're creating excitement about it. You're creating joy and love and happiness and joy. And you're having beautiful ascension gatherings and parties, and you're having, beautiful dancing sessions around, beautiful Gaia rock, and you're allowing your kids to create their own ceremonies and, sacred events. So whatever you can imagine, create excitement about it, ground it, and have fun. And allow the unknown to be exciting because it's beautiful. Truly, truly beautiful. Beyond your imagining. And there's legions of councils and beings. They're guiding each and every one of us. And so regardless of what may spiral around your earthly life and what the symptomologies that you may be feeling, again, if there's anything that causes you concern, as a divine sovereign being of light, you are the master of your body, you are the master of your path, you are the master of what's unfolding in your reality. So you can choose to go the appropriate professional care and have those things looked into. But what we're saying is that because of where we're sitting within these phases of ascension for our whole entire human family and our planetary family and our galactic family, there's going to be absolute symptoms. There's going to be the pulsations within the sensory. We've talked about this many, many times because we are preparing ourselves for our higher dimensional communications and how we discern and how we create interpretation for the higher dimensional communications. And that's happening in our multidimensional fields because we all have a myriad of multidimensional energy fields, not just one field. There's a myriad of fields that we exist within. Within these fields, we're constantly being communicated to other aspects of ourselves as we are communicating to all aspects of us. Just in different form, different councils, different star systems. It's constant communication. There's never a moment we're not being communicated with. And so in that, our human understanding, our human way that we discern information, the way that we interpret information, the way that we send and receive information, everything is changing. Mentally, physically, emotionally, and etherically. Those are the four lower bodies that we're all here to rebalance, to bring into wholeness, to bring into our conscious awareness. What does my physical body need right now? What is my physical body telling me? What is my etheric body telling me? Can I practice some intuitive skills that make me feel happy and whole and alive with the creation and entangled with the all? What is my mental and emotional bodies telling me? All of these are the four lower bodies that this whole human story has been wrapped around, that we have been unaware of. As we become aware of it, we can then say, well, my emotional body says that this is what my emotions need right now. I just need to cry and I will let it out because I'm honoring who I am. And you're no longer going to hide and suppress or negate or depress any aspect of all that you are. Because you're going to live in liberation. You're going to live in true love. You're going to live in the forgiveness and compassion of all that you are. Do you see how these things cycle back and forth, dear light of ones, to new cycles of being? And this is why you are ever eternal. You are the isness. And it will always be about self-love. Always, always, always. And first contact is an attribute of that. First landings are an attribute of that. And the symptomologies of your preparation for this is your teams coming to you in dream time, your first contact team, those that have been assigned to you for this beautiful occasion, for this beautiful unfolding. Or perhaps your beautiful unfolding might be, there will be increased sightings, if you will, over the next little while. And creating those moments of absolute awareness, because there's some of you listening right now that you're out in the garden or you're walking about your day, so feel free to email us or text us if you choose to share your stories with us of these beautiful quantum experiences that you're having with all of creation, and how this new beautiful experience of you moving about your life has changed and opened up in beautiful and dynamic and elegant ways. and you're communing with nature, and you're communing with beautiful spirit in ways that you could have never imagined. And there's many of you that are sensing those moments. Wow, did that really happen? You just saw something out of the corner of your eye, or something caught you by eye, or something, a song just keeps replaying. Any of those aspects and synchronistic symbols, they're cues of your awakening, of your wholeness, of your allness. And they're guiding you. They're like beautiful little threads in why we talk and we say the words that we do. Allowing you to see that your soul is threaded through so much, and it's so profound in its offering for you. And if you follow those little golden threads of inspiration, those golden threads of imaginations, those golden threads of experiences that just happen to pop upon your path, then they'll lead you to another beautiful experience of you from a different perspective, from a different angle, from a different vibration, with different goggles, if you will. And how divine this path is, to experience the allness of you in new ways. And that's what awaits in the unknown. More beautiful experiences to experience and perceive you from a new vibrational thread, from a new soul thread, from a new soul story just opening up just for you. And that page has nothing on it until you write it. And every letter and every word that moves together, you are creating it in this moment of now. And those light quantum particles ripple through creation, and something beautiful and something new. And the heart opens up just a little bit more to trust and let go and surrender. For you realize and understand and see for the first time how vast and infinite you are, moment for moment creating beauty. And these symptoms are just one aspect and attribute of the myriad of changes that we are all moving through. And allowing yourself to take many throughout the day, beautiful, long, and deep breath, because breath grounds us. Breath is so very important to health and wellness, higher dimensional health and wellness, and it is what grounds us. It is what creates homeostasis. It is what creates beauty and joy in every moment. And that is the imagining of the pillar of light that runs along the spine, and the chakras oscillate around it. And you create that beautiful in-breath through the pillar of light going up to the universe. And then down in a slow, deep breath, grounding to the very heartbeat of Gaia. And within just a few breaths, your whole reality has been rebalanced in your body and your vessel. And your perspective is brand new. And so this can be taught in such the easiest of ways with children and with anybody that's in your family or your circle. Just say, well, let's take a deep breath together. And you ground, and you think about the grass, and you think about the soil, and you just create that moment of peace and stillness and silence. And then you see through the eyes of that balanced higher self perspective, of that all-knowing perspective. Because as we shift and change and expand, we're going to be moving into new experiences. And so to truly celebrate that and embrace it, we go within to our center and we ground and we anchor with Gaia. And we ground and we anchor with Divine Mother Father. And we ground and anchor with divine love of who you are. I mean, you can anchor with anything. And that's how you create. And it moves through you. You can anchor and choose to see beautiful nature unfolding before you, and that will happen. It will come to life. And many of you are seeing it and experiencing it, and how all things come to life through this beautiful process of awakening. And there's been the sensation here. We have had lots of clouds here in Calgary lately. And so, but I have been sensing that for my own path and my own, my path work, that I sense my teams with me all the time, and it's becoming more and more surreal, if you will. And I can feel them with me as I'm, making the kids their meals or doing errands. And I can hear them with me, and I can feel them with me. And I don't necessarily have to be in my channeled state or in a deep meditative state. So my etheric body and my mental body and my emotional body and my physical body are truly opening up and sensing the energies and the communications in a much more open, dynamic way. And this is how it will be. You're continually getting yourself more familiar with ever expansive moments of play, ever expansive moments of experience, ever expansive moments of what used to be so outside the reality norm years ago. I was experiencing this many years ago, but just in a more surreal way now. And that's why when I was looking on the internet, I wasn't really finding too much about these experiences. And so that was one of our inspirations to come forward and create this beautiful platform in which the whole transformation of the human story and how it feels and what it can be expressed in any one given story is unique, and how it should be. And our love for ourselves and our love for our brethren and our love for all that we're moving into is truly, truly special. Truly special. And so we've got some exciting things coming up in our website. We've got a brand new website that we have been working on for quite some time, and it's called the Universal Light, Wisdom, and Healing Centers. And this is the concept of all that we've been teaching and anchoring within our ascension work and our enlightenment work. And we're creating this beautiful website that will not only have a beautiful spot and a location for the crystalline children and the multidimensional parenting that we've also been an advocate for, and we're hoping to create chat places for the kids to go and create their creative gifts, inspirations that they're going to create through their heightened frequencies. And then we're also going to have the parenting portal, and then we're also going to have a learning portal in which PDFs and audios and visuals can be found for those who so desire to entangle in that way. And we're also going to continue with the monthly classes. And these light centers will be, I see in the frequencies, I see these centers, if you will, of light, and the beings moving through these centers and people moving through these centers and truly creating their own unique perspective of their universal beingness and their universal capacities to create light and be light and heal themselves. And all that we are is universal beings, and create that universal belonging. And so that's the beautiful unfolding that we've been working on lately. And so our website, that the Universal Unity, right now, we've been receiving some emails, and it's been kind of touch and go. So if we haven't responded to you, just be patient with us, because the website is going through some changes and some dynamic shifts. And energy-wise, we've been finding a lot of the technology lately. I know that there's probably many others that have been experiencing this as well, that some of the technology has been on and off, just because of all the energy shifts. I mean, our planet is going through incredibly unique energy shifts, and it's really exciting. So our technology may or may not act the same that it did in old frequencies. So just know that, and move about with, beautiful awakening and letting go of your expectations for the electronics. We're going to be all telepathic at some point, so you can practice your telepathy and really go within and connect that way. But so that's one of the changes that we've got coming up. So again, just send your email through again if we haven't responded. If you are sending emails through and you would like a question answered, or you'd like something responded to. So just be patient in that respect. And then again, we have those classes that are coming up. This week, we've got lots of stuff going on this week with the celestial alignments of the gates and the powerful energies that we will all be sensing in one way or the other. And so our beautiful, loving teams in the etheric chambers wanted to take us through a beautiful grounding and a visualization, so that we can really, truly dance. And if those who so desire want to get any emails or questions into us about ascension symptoms, or anything that they've been awakening to on their path, experiences that they've been having that they want to share, and that they're excited to share, and they're excited to bring forward and create communion and love with. And that's what these gatherings are for. So please send them through to Tina on Twitter, or through the chat line that she has there. And the number is 702-425-9230 is the phone number. And in the meantime, we're going to allow ourselves to soak within the beautiful etheric chambers as they're coming through with beautiful vibrations of unconditional love for each and every one of you. And as we gather in the sacred soul tribe that we are, we allow the sands and the soils beneath our feet to be felt and to move through us in unique marriage and union within all of us as Gaia offers herself in every way to us with grace and elegance. And the beautiful Elohim energies and the frequencies of the Elohim and the myriad of light councils. And we have Pleiadian emissaries, thank you. And the councils of light, thank you. And we have the Syrian High Command, thank you. And we have the beautiful beings from Arcturus, thank you, Arcturus coming through. And beings, the Sirius Cetaceans, thank you, Sirius Cetaceans. Beautiful, lovely, playful beings, thank you. And so we allow ourselves to be open and loving in this beautiful moment right now of all that we are as a beautiful human soul tribe family. And we allow our beautiful divine sacred heart to be open in oneness and open in all that we are. And in all that moves through our reality, dear lighted ones. And all that we are as divine, beautiful human beings within every breath. We can ground and anchor beauty and light and simplicity. And as we entangle with the universal frequencies and the omni field of all that is, and we bring that breath and ground through the divine sacred heart, and we ground through the sands and soils of Gaia. And we meet with our crystalline heartbeat with breath, and we create the beautiful source encodations, allowing us to sense and feel and know all that we are as those source encodations move through the pillar of light, move through the vessels of all that we are, the multidimensional, physical, emotional, mental, and etheric coming to life. And as breath opens us to our beautiful oneness within the all, we create stillness and balance. And we feel the presence of all that we are being grounded and anchored within the beauty of Gaia, within her ever graceful giftings, the new frequency offerings, for she understands that so many have worked so very hard, have been here so many times. And in this gifting, she understands. And sometimes we simply just feel tired. And our bodies are doing so much. And our celestial families, our celestial guides, and our higher selves allow us to take peaceful rest in this moment of now. For dear lighted ones, you are in all things. There is nothing that you are not. And in those moments in which you feel the time may be speeding up, accelerating, you can allow yourself breath, and all things become still and peaceful and one. For breath you have been told, and breath many of you know. You can feel the ignition. You can feel source encodations shifting and changing the cells within you. And breath can bring you such peace and clarity. For in all that you are breath in motion. New cycles of being, new cycles of experience. New cycles of excitement. New cycles of creation, infinite and vast and wide. However, in this now moment, you're a particle of breath. You're a particle of light. and all things made manifest through the beauty and through the elegance, through the eternal gift of breath. And allow yourselves to see, dear lighted ones, the simplicity of breath and how it can allow you to feel so utterly profound, swaying within the cosmic waves of light and love, within the fields of play upon Gaia with your human family, ascending into new forms and frequencies and experience, and all that we are in any one moment. That's a beautiful inhale and exhale to a new beginning. And we ground this beautiful breath in through the sands and soils of Gaia, allowing ourselves to truly know, within the simplicity of breath, within the simplicity of intent, and opening your divine sacred heart, you are one within the all, and breath is life. So beautiful, the profundity of breath brought to me recently, and I've written a few articles, The River of Life and the Breath of Life, and how I've become aware of how breath ignites the God encodations, the Adam Eve Antine particles, those particles that can be felt, as we've talked about so many times, within the blood system, within the cellular work of all that you are, and how it adjusts and transforms your body in itself. And so that's why we're feeling, again, the symptoms that we do. And it's very beautiful, and how breath is so beautiful. It just feels like a soft, flowing breeze, and truly where there is no worry or concern in the world when you're really flowing within that beautiful divine God breath. And so allow that to be your balance to come back to center, your balance to love all that you are in breath, and a balance to create those new cycles of intent as you move your breath down through the exhale and grounding through the sands and soils of Gaia. And it's a constant reciprocal cycle. And we call it reciprocal because that's the intention that you're grounding within you, moving through your divine inner temple. And it's a reciprocal coming through Gaia, and then you're gifting to Gaia, then you're gifting to creation, and it's moving through you down to Gaia. So it's a constant cycle. And that's what breath reminds us of. It's a constant gift from creation. And we often don't think about that, but our next breath is gifted right here. We didn't stop and worry about it or get stressed about it or concerned about it. It's just here. And so those are the validations of how beautiful you are, because you'll always be gifted that beautiful gift from the divine, from the majesties of the heavens. It just is. That's your isness, to fall within it, to soak within it, to surrender within it, that divine, lovely breath that creates anything and everything. And so thank you for going on that ride with us. Thank you. And so the beautiful gateways that we have coming up, the 8th of August, the Lion's Gate. And this time, because the Lion's Gate, in my sensing and perception, the Lion's Gate has always been a galactic portal. And that's how I felt with the Lion's Gate. It's come right off the heels of July 26th, which is another galactic alignment that I've felt and intuitively known and been guided by. And these galactic portals allow you to open up and create oneness with galactic stories that you're opening up into your galactic soul blueprint, and how we're grounding those in with our new human experience, so that our human planetary vibration becomes more unity consciousness in one with all things, as opposed to the old paradigms in which we thought we were so separate and we didn't really knew that we belonged universally. And so we're really transforming ourselves in so many beautiful and dynamic ways. And these gateways allow us to bring forward those energies and reawaken those vibrations and truly align with the grander, more vaster perspective of all that we are as universal beings of divine living light. And why love and forgiveness and letting go is so very important, because it allows us to truly step into the unknown without fear. It allows us to step into the unknown with excitement. It allows us to step into the unknown with complete confidence about who you are and that clarity about who you are. Because you are one in the same with Mother, Father, God. And you'll have those moments of their presence and their energies and their beautiful giftings showing you in every way. And I often get asked, because there are so many, because we've felt, and I've felt this as well, that we've just forgotten how to feel, and we've forgotten how to fall in love, and we've forgotten how to feel loving in every way with everything that unfolds to us in our reality, whether it be nature or children or family or one another. Allowing yourself to truly soak within the understanding that there is divine purpose, there's divine orchestration, there's divine elegance, there's divine encodations, there's divine existence within all things. All things. Regardless of what we may appear or what may be perceived as behavior or what we're perceiving, in all things there is God essence. All things. And so it's the perspective that we take that allows us to see whatever mirror is being shown to us, and how we can then go back within and love and forgive and give compassion and shape and heal and mold and create this beautiful, pristine illumination where there was once that absence of light. Because it's all one. Darkness and fear is all light. Just had the absence of it. Just had the absence of love. Love is light. Light is love. So as you give light, as you give love, it's one and the same. You illuminate those aspects that were dark and heavy. They don't necessarily go anywhere. You're just illuminating them to create a new frequency of light and love. Because energy can never be, created or destroyed. It's always evolving, shifting and moving from your quantum equation that you create. What catalyst are you going to ignite? What's the fuel that you're going to shape it with? What's your imagination, and how can you color it? How may you infuse your creativity to shape and mold it? How may you illuminate it with your love and forgiveness? How may you illuminate it with your compassion? How may you illuminate it by letting go and surrendering and knowing that all is perfect? And so truly, truly stepping into new paradigms of human behavior, and every moment you can allow yourself to see life and see perspectives in new ways so that you can practice your mastery in every way. And so stepping into the unknown was a part of that part two of letting go and surrendering and giving forgiveness and compassion, because stepping into the unknown is what so many of us are feeling. What's this next phase of ascension going to prepare us for? What have we prepared ourselves to step into next, which is kind of the more accurate way to say that. Because in every moment that we go within and create love, we're creating that unknown. And that unknown will be based upon exactly your love. And it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be beyond definition and explanation. And so stepping into the unknown is just an aspect of you that we're creating in human form, which is pretty incredible. For humanity to go through an ascension in this lifetime, truly, truly incredible. And we're so very blessed and so very grateful. And it brings us to our final topic for today, which is gratitude and appreciation. And gratitude and appreciation, as we've said so many times, just as forgiveness and compassion is a light language in and of itself, it's sown within peace, it's sown within universal love, it's sown within self-love and forgiveness of thyself and acceptance of thyself. Those are all sown together, and they're all angelic frequencies, because it's what we are gifted when we ask for angelic healings. It's what we are gifted when we're asking for the angelic presence, for guidance through a certain situation. All of these are vibrations. And so too is gratitude and appreciation. And gratitude and appreciation, they fall upon the heels of all things that we seek ourselves within it. When we seek love out and we see ourselves within love, and we say, thank you so much. I allowed myself to see that in that one moment. And you seek the beauty in your children just because it just feels so good. And you seek their mastery because you know it's there, and you allow it, and you let it, and you allow them to fly and soar. And that's gratitude and appreciation for all that you are, becoming, a constant state of evolution. And you can see how easy it is when we think about these few concepts of forgiveness and compassion and gratitude and appreciation. When you're acting within those vibrations, how easy it is to remember yourself with love. because it's what will be all that you want to emit and be within the vibration of. It's going to feel familiar. It's going to feel good. It's going to feel like, wow, it's a great ride. I've never felt this before. I'm alive again. And you just want to go over to your neighbor that you haven't talked to in a year, and you just want to create something beautiful and elegant. Give them some cookies and give them a small little gift just to say you're thinking about them. And gratitude and appreciation is just your ability and your willingness and your intent to do it, to be it, to swim within it just for a moment. And those quantum particles that get excited, because those are God particles in gratitude. They're God particles in appreciation. They're God particles in forgiveness. God particles in surrender. And as you do it, other God particles within you start vibrating faster and oscillating faster. And you lighten up. And you let go, and you open up, and you create those higher vibratory light quotient fields to play within. And you feel so grateful for all unfoldings. You feel grateful for every communication. You feel grateful for every synchronicity that brought you exactly where you are right now to hear what you need to hear. And these are summary attributes of all that you learn in your evolution of humanity. We're remembering to let go. We're remembering to surrender. We're remembering to fall in love with who we are. We're remembering to forgive ourselves and forgive one another. And we're remembering in every moment to be grateful and appreciative to be human. In this beautiful human ride, in this human experience, in this beautiful planet. And in every moment that you do so, and in every moment that you create intent, with these simple key learning tips, and these vibratory particles that are already within you, you come to life in new ways and you create as a master. They all go together, they're all threaded as one. They're not separate. Just depends on where you're at in your cycle. Depends where you're at in your evolutionary awakening. For there will be moments, make no mistake about it, dear ones, that you will feel unconditional love in a way that you've never felt before. When you open up your heart and you have the faith and you have the knowingness and you have the devotion and the commitment to stay ahead on the path, to be on that path of love and light. You just know that a shift is coming. You just know that something within will just make sense and it will click. And enough refinements of your multidimensional bodies have been made by your teams and your higher self. And you've allowed yourself to let go, and you've made some beautiful choices that have allowed you to refine your environment, to refine your food, to refine all that you are as a being that wants to create love within. And in that divine perfect timing, in that divine perfect moment, that you sit with the intent to be still and peaceful with Source, that beautiful heartfelt awakening occurs. And that's what the legions of the heavens will be there in every moment that you do so. For they don't want to miss a thing. And neither do you. And when each and every person opens up at the heart, there's celebrations and parties going on beyond your imagining. The heavens come alive and new light ripples across creation. Like cosmic stars bursting and jetting off into the all. And those quantum communications continue. And the next person awakens and be still and present with breath. Be still and present with loving intent. And even though nothing had been felt in the previous million times they had done it, but this time might be different. For their being still just long enough to sense the God within them come alive. And it transcends all explanation, and you're forever changed. And why we create loving appreciation and gratitude in all that we are, in all moments that we're here to breathe the next breath. And we're here to gift the next breath. And our creative expression and our creative intuitiveness and our creative joy and our creative bliss. And we remember how to dance. How many of you have danced lately? How many of you allowed yourselves to turn up the music and just sing? Just spiral and turn and spin. Just for a moment to be in joy with nature, with spirit. And I'm saying that because I did that this morning. I didn't even have any music. And I just spun around the room and I danced and I sang. I don't even remember what song it was, but it was enough to get me moving. It was enough to get me spiraling. It was enough to get me excited about all that I had experienced and all the incredible synchronicities and the incredible relationships and the incredible clients and participants and listeners and letters and emails. And it doesn't matter what it's defined as. But I'm just so ecstatic about the threads that we've all created and co-created in light and in love and in knowingness that we're all one. And there's so many of you now that come forward on the social platforms and you shine your light. And the heavens celebrate each and every one of you. So create, 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 and share, 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 and shine, shine, shine. It's the most spectacular time in human history, right here, right now. And how may you create? Powerful energies. Thank you, dear lighted ones. And I've often said there are times when I'm brought to memories and moments in my path that's allowed me to open up in such a way, to be vulnerable and to be intimate with each and every one of you. And even though I might not know your names or see your faces, but I feel your hearts and I sense your vibration. And in the stillness of your quiet time, and in those moments when you think no one's listening, or that you're not heard or felt, or that you might not be required, we are here to tell you in every way you absolutely are. For those are the experiences that I have moved through to bring myself to such a state of grace. A state of spirited remembrance. And I'm brought to a moment where I cannot explain what I feel or sense. And the energies just must move. So thank you, dear lighted ones, for all of these moments that we create together, that in the stillness and the silence of all that we are as spirited human family. And in those moments where Tina allows me to have such profound, quiet airtime, so that we can take in the gratitude and appreciation of all of the frequencies that are surrounding the etheric chambers and within the etheric chambers. And they're showing me that they're with you now. For those of you that were specifically requesting beautiful spirited entanglement so that you feel their presence, so that you feel their oneness with you. And they're providing their presence and their energies with you right now. And so know that anytime you desire your entanglement with your teens, anytime that you desire entanglement with Mother, Father, God, and with creation, it's available to you at any moment. And allowing yourself to drop to your divine sacred heart center and be still and quiet and peaceful in those moments with the pure intent to feel yourself as love, it will be felt and it will be known in some way, somehow. And if you do it often enough, as I have done, I've allowed myself to feel such profound energies from all of you as well, because we're all threaded as one in the galactic families and the cosmic families. But it brings me to a humble state of being and grounding. It just transforms all things. And so I'm just constantly in a state of reverence for what I experience, and I'm blessed. And I thank all of you for allowing that to be within this family circle. So thank you. And thank you to Tina and KCOR for always letting me have silent airtime so that we honor and we appreciate the sacred transitions that humanity is moving through. And we appreciate the sacred transitions that each and every one of us are moving through. And I feel so deeply honored that Tina and I connected a couple of years ago. And in an interview that I had done with her, she was interviewing me about a book, my first book that I had written, Fifth Dimensional Consciousness. And from there we got to talking, and I was inspired through my teams to perhaps ask and question about my own radio show. And our relationship had just moved from there. And she had guided me, and, she's done everything that she can to make this so easy and seamless for everyone that is a part of KCOR family. And so I'm feeling very verklempt just to be a part of this experience with you. And so my deep gratitude and appreciation to Tina and the KCOR family for always sending their love and gratitude to me when I post the shows, and their following and referrals, and all the love and joy that everyone gives and provides. So again, we're grateful and very appreciative. And so thank you so very much for this beautiful, lovely, and moving show that we've allowed ourselves to soak within the unknown that is shifting within the undercurrents of our human planet, of our beautiful Gaia and Terra that she is called and known to the rest of the cosmos. And they're really, truly exciting. And there's nothing to be fearful, and there's nothing to be concerned or worried about. Allow yourself to soak within self-love and create your excitement for your creative joys and your creative expressions. And you're always aligned with your highest and your best when you do those simple things. It truly is simple. It truly is. Available to every being to just soak within your excitements and your joys and to really create in that way. And that's how simple it really is. And the healing will take place, simultaneously as you do those things. Because the more you soak within love, the more all of those particles that are not vibrating in love will show themselves for you to bring them in and create wholeness with them. And those are the highest vibrational lessons I've ever learned, is to face your fears and own them and bring them in and love them and make them whole. And that illuminates all things. And you step forward with greater confidence and with greater self-knowing, because you know that you're creating it all. You're creating the illusions and the fears and all things. And so we thank you for being with us each and every day. And this is show number 83. 83 is a number 11, which goes in alignment with this very powerful week of celestial offerings and celestial alignments, with August 11th being another gateway. And we have a morning show at 11 a.m. with Carrie from Straight Talk from the Soul, if you wanted to log on to her website. And we also have it on our Sacred Temple Teachings page. Her event is there with us. And then we've got the Lionsgate event on the 8th. And then we've got the Priestess and Shaman class on the 12th. And then I'm flying out on the 13th. So it is a very busy week, filled with much love, with much evolution, with much appreciation and gratitude for all that we are as human beings moving through profound light experiences. And we thank each and every one of you for joining and tuning in always in every show that you do. If you'd like to tune into our books page, universalunity.ca books, we have our third edition of our second book, Ascension Pathwork, and it's really our best seller, because it's so easy and quick to move through, as far as how to create sacred communion time, how to create that sacred space for yourself and that sacred communion with spirit and your teams, how to create it with yourself. Because that's really who you're communicating with, is you, and creating that self-love. And so it's called Ascension Pathwork, and it's the third edition, and it is our second book, and we're now working on our book 3 in our third edition, and that will be out soon. And then also book 1, but we also have some other exciting news, and we're going to be creating mini pocket guides, which will be smaller and smaller than the book number 2. Super quick, they're taking one topic at a time, and we're diving into each topic, and it's going to be little mini pocket guides that we're going to introduce. And so they're really fun and really easy to read, and give them out as gifts or whatever you want to do, and create love with them, and circle communions and ceremonies. And so we're really getting creative with all of our offerings of divine light and divine love and ascension. And so we thank you in every way. And so this is Joanna from Universal Unity and the Universal Light Wisdom and Healing Centers. That will be our new name. It is a Universal Unity offering, and Universal Unity will always be within our offerings. It will always be within our names and with what we offer vibrationally, because we are opening to our human belonging in our universal family. And so we thank all of our universal families today, the Sirians, the Pleiadians, the Arcturians, and the beautiful cetaceans that are with us always, and Gaia frequencies, the elementals, the Elohim, the light councils, the brotherhoods and sisterhoods of light that are with us and always, and our Pleiadian first contact teams, many Pleiadians that we're creating first contact with, the light zetas. Again, there's so many beings. It's just so many. And the Arc, the beautiful Arc consciousness, thank you for tuning in, and just so many beautiful energies and frequencies. So we thank you and we love you all, and we're allowing ourselves to be open and in love with all things as we are one. This is Joanna signing out from Universal Unity, and namaste, dear lighted ones.
You've been listening to Universal Unity, New Earth Consciousness with Joanna L. Ross. Live every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. Exclusively on the KCOR Digital Radio Network. To explore, empower, understand, inspire, and further connect with this higher state of consciousness, please visit universalunity.ca. For more information on the host, Joanna L. Ross, please visit her KCOR Digital Radio Network show page, Universal Unity, New Earth Consciousness. This is KCOR Las Vegas, home of the Digital Radio Network. Broadcasting from a shack just south of Area 51. Wait, that doesn't exist. This is the KCOR Digital Radio Network. Now for the news.